Test, test, testy tuck. Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I am Mike, and this is a spoiler-free review of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 while drinking your juice in the hood. So, give me a break here because there's not going to be a whole lot of editing in this. There's not going to be a whole lot of pictures. You guys know what Tom Cruise looks like, right? But I've got to get in a car. We're driving to Atlanta to go see the Blink 182 show, which I cannot tell you how excited I am right now. But I got up this morning to try to squeeze this one in, and we did. So here we are. It's better them than me, as Ving Rhames would say in Dawn of the Dead. I don't know how that translates here, but listen, I'm a huge fan of the Mission Impossible movies, like gigantic fan. It's one of my favorite movie franchises ever. I'm so old that I saw the first one in theaters and was pretending I was Ethan Hunt with the doo-doo-doo in my head at the Walden bookstore with my dad after we saw it. So this whole franchise just holds a special place to me, and it's an awesome franchise. I mean, I won't say every single movie is better than the one previous, but they just keep getting better in its own way, and it's amazing. And I just love the cast. I love Tom Cruise as an actor, and how much movies means to him, and what he goes through to get these things to be what they are. And Fallout's one of my favorite action movies of all time. So I'll say right now, I never had the expectation that this, especially it being a part one, was ever going to top Fallout. So I knew that, and it didn't. But the thing is that it carries a lot of the DNA Fallout had with it, as far as the upping of the action set pieces. There's one set piece at the end of the movie that may be the best action set piece of, not the most dangerous, because I don't think anything's going to top Tom Cruise literally flying on the outside of a fucking airplane. But I think that there's a certain set piece at the very last one that is the most thrill-inducing one of the entire series, perhaps. I'm talking about when you're watching it, literally squirming in my seat, like just like heart pounding, just awesome action. I mean, some of the best. And I'm thinking there is no excuse for superhero movies to not have this level of amazing action set pieces in them when I'm watching this. And you don't have to have a Tom Cruise who's literally willing to die every time, but damn, I mean, it's so far and away above the kind of stuff we see in action movies today with the CGI and stuff like that. It just blows your mind, and you are experiencing something. And that's what's so beautiful about this movie and movies like it is. It's one of the last bastions of, it's not just going to be a CGI, we slap a name on it. I could take a shit in a box and mark it guaranteed if you want. I've got spare time. And I'm not saying every movie's like that, but with the CGI and the Jurassic Worlds and stuff like that, you know, the way that they do these movies is just something to behold, and it's special. And it's the last bastion of like really special cinema that you have to see in the movie theater on the screen. And that's what this movie felt like. It continued that. When I was sitting there watching it, I was going, man, it's an experience. It's the summer experience to be had. You know, it's not something you have to check off your list. It's a goddamn ride. And the whole story of this one is that it involves AI, and it involves this phantom AI thing that basically, what a perfect time, right? Like, this movie's perfectly timed for everything going on in the world. But it's this AI that just takes over everything, and the bad guys have control of that. And it's your typical, you know, Mission Impossible movie. What's different about the plot to this one, though, it's very smart in the way they do that. And not the movie itself, but the plot itself feels a lot like the first movie for some reason to me. It's bigger, you know, it's more expanded, of course. And the whole world seems like, with this plot, is in more danger somehow than it maybe has ever been in these movies. Like, it feels like there's even more at stake. But just the smartness of it and the seriousness of the plot itself reminds me of the first movie. So it's got all that. There's a couple moments in there that are really actually laugh out loud funny. It still has comedy. It's still got all the blockbusterisms and the huge crazy set pieces. It's not that dark or anything like that. But the plot is darker. I don't know really how to explain that, but it's a really cool plot. I actually enjoyed the plot of the movie. They do rehash some stuff the series has done before. You know, you've got your standard, even if done amazingly well, car chase scene and motorcycles and all that stuff. A lot of it looks like some of the movies you've seen before, like Rogue Nation or whatever. That does happen, even if they are, once again, amazing action set pieces that are a fucking ride to watch. Tom Cruise is amazing in the movie, and they really hone in this on how much his friends mean to him and how much they all mean to each other. They really do a good job at that. There's one particular moment where somebody's like, you don't even know me. And he's like, does it matter? And it just shows the kind of person that Ethan Hunt is, which is really cool. Where I actually found it, and I wouldn't say lacking, but like just one of my favorite things of Fallout was, not only was it an amazing action movie as well, but I emotionally got more involved in that than I did most of the Mission Impossible movies. You know, there was something about his plight in that movie and his willing to put it all on the line to save his friends and stuff that really, I think, was amped up a notch in that movie. It gets a little bit more back to normal here, even if there is some cool stuff like that. But I think it's it's hard to say it's one of the best Mission Impossible movies because they're, for the most part, they're all so damn good. I mean, you can feel how you want to about Mission Impossible 2. I maintain Mission Impossible 2's not a great Mission Impossible movie, but it's a great John Woo movie. So I don't even hate that. But it continues in the line of these movies, and it feels like a mixture of Fallout and, you know, Rogue Nation. It is a nice mixture of those. It does, like, it feels like its own complete story. I mean, for the running time, and for that long, normally, you know me, I'm the first person to bitch and be like, these movies are too damn long these days, man. Cut 20 minutes out of that bitch. This movie doesn't feel like that at all. I mean, I feel like 25 minutes goes before you even get to the opening credits, and I don't even care. It's just a ride from start to finish, and there's a couple fight scenes where it kind of looks like, and it's not the scenes typically involving Tom Cruise, but there's a couple fight scenes with the peripheral characters that sometimes it looks a little like they're doing a dance number, and it's kind of weird, but there's also, on the flip side of that, really good fight scenes that happen. There's the scenes you've seen in the trailers with the trains and all that shit, super intense. Heart-pounding movie. Love the storyline. Love how smart it was. You feel Kittredge in this. Like, he's got a lot to do in this movie. I'd say definitely more than the first movie even. So I really like Kittredge for that. And I'll just say, you know, if you want to shake hands with the devil, that's fine with me. But you just make sure you do it in hell. But I'm going to give Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, Drinking Your Juice in the Hood, a 9 out of 10, and I think it's the best movie of the year so far that I've seen so far. And that's crazy when you say this, right? It's not as good as the last one, but it's the best movie of the fucking year. I would say for me right now, this is probably the best movie of the year, topping Personal Taste, Scream 6, and John Wick 4 even. It's just so good all around, man, and everyone's so good in it. And Ving Rhames and Simon Pegg and Haley Atwell's really good in this. She's given a lot to do as well. She's got a really cool role. And Rebecca Ferguson, Vanessa Kirby, like, they do go back and again they retread some of the stuff the other movies have done before. Sure, you'll notice things that you've seen before and characters doing the same stuff they did before, but this new bad guy and the story just surrounding it. You know how in the trailer they show that scene of the dude putting on the gas mask and the green smoke and how cool that looks? That is just the vibe of this entire movie, and I really dug it. And I dug the opening and the storyline, and it's awesome, man. It's amazing. I don't know how Tom Cruise fucking does it. I don't know how Chris McQuarrie does it. This movie is like if James Cameron and Arnold Schwarzenegger got together and made Terminator 3, you know, like coming off of Fallout. It's like the crew got back together and they did a Terminator 3. I know they did, but it's not the same thing at all. And you were never going to top T2, but they made a successful Terminator 3. And that's kind of what Dead Reckoning Part 1 is. You got to see it in the theater. It makes me feel like a kid again watching a movie in the fucking summertime, man. So that's my review of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. Sorry for all the ums and stuff. And again, if you forgot what Tom Cruise looks like, you can Google it for sure. But your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like only 12 or 20% of people watching this are actually subscribed. So if you guys would click the bell for me and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And we will do a Mission Impossible ranking. So you want to set your notifications on so you see that, because that's going to be a really tough one to do. I'm not tough to do. I'm pretty easy. But that's not none of your goddamn business, sir. And we'll see you guys super soon. Love your fucking faces.
Hello, listener. Do you like scary movies? What's your favorite scary movie? Well, Jay and Mike like scary movies too. You should go and subscribe to their podcast, We Watched a Movie. Because if you don't, I'll gut you like a... Well, I think you get the idea. Enjoy yourselves while you still can.